Welcome to Miffs. I'm Matt Huss.
And I'm Dan Rhodes. Whether you know about Theseus or you're revising your syllabus,
If you want tales with a bit of jest, or you just want to hear about incest.
What?
What? It's really interesting.
Welcome to Miffs. Welcome to Miffs.
Live from Dan's bedroom, it is Miffs Podcast!
You know what we should do is write a jingle for Miffs, because there isn't one at the moment.
No, should we write a new jingle? You know, the one that I did write took me a long time. Let's write a brand new jingle, because the one we have, you know, we've had it for 41 episodes. We want
41 episodes.
We want something fresh.
And I remember watching an interview with a guy who is in TV, and he said that every 41 episodes you should change your jingle.
I think Jerry Seinfeld said that.
Yeah.
Who famously did many series about changing
Yeah.
Seinfeld. Okay, yeah. So Dan, do you want to lay down a beat or something? Or how do you want to do this?
I think the background, a bit like Kanye West, we should use, the background should be vocals.
Okay.
So what I was thinking of doing, I mean, ideally I would probably have a 100-piece choir to do this.
Which we have on our podcast budget of £0.
Yeah, and then and then I would just have them in the background, like, Miffs. Can you imagine that? And then the guy's going, Miffs.
Right, I'll do the lower, you do the higher, okay? Dan's doing stuff with his hands to go like, but that wasn't the same direction as your, like, he's putting his hand like, but his voice is.
So I would have that,
Okay.
and then an opera singer would be doing the main vocal. So in the background there's that going on, and then they would come in and go, Theseus!
Oh, does he name every episode?
Theseus! I think this is a theme tune from Soul, isn't it?
Theseus! Conjuring born!
Yeah, that's right. Theseus!
Echo, Narcissus, and the Juno rivals, and Theseus. That's really hard to do.
It's really hard to do.
I'm interested if you know any more episodes.
Zeus! Here comes Zeus! He's gonna rip you, he's gonna rip you.
Wow. Okay. Well, welcome to the episode. That's a new jingle. It's not actually. It's just that I was explaining the jingle. So hopefully you'll enjoy that.
That would sound good though if you actually did that in a piece of choir.
But imagine the effort's gone to that.
Yeah. Okay, that's true.
Yeah. Just pretend we've done that. I'll insert it now. We'll just pretend we've done that. That was good, wasn't it?
Really
Yeah,
good.
really
Yeah,
good.
really good, yeah.
Just fantastic stuff. Kanye was there as well.
Yeah.
So Dan, how have you been?
Been pretty good. How you been?
I'm fine. Yeah, I'm doing okay, man. Just good.
Matt, would you like to just throw this out there? We haven't done it. We've never really done it before, and I personally haven't done it before, and I feel like if I was going to do it, I'd do it with a friend.
I honestly have no idea where this is going.
I was thinking maybe because we're in a weird mood today, as evidenced by our singing. Yeah, and I think I was wondering if later on maybe we could have a nap together.
I genuinely was very scared about what that was going to... Because it could have been anything. I think we're going to have a nap later on. And there's been times where...
A post-episode nap.
Post-episode nap. Or, you know, a lot of people...
Pen.
A pen. Or apron.
Oh, apron, yeah.
How do you spell apron? P-Q-R. It's nice that, in all fairness...
You can say anything however you want to pronounce it. That's why, like, you could write the word... You could, like, name your child Emily, and then be like, oh, it's pronounced Jessica. Like, you could do that. You could do that. There's nothing to stop you from saying, oh, it's Emily spelt Jessica.
That means you can't really stop anyone from doing anything, but, like, it's just... that is such a ridiculous way to go about it. However, I feel like I can't mock you for the APN thing, because I literally got the alphabet wrong a couple of weeks ago. So not only are we awful at maths, we're also, thanks to this podcast, we're bad at the English language now as well. So, God, we're not smart people.
We're not smart people.
I thought I was a smart person before doing this podcast.
People tell us we're smart people when we are not smart people.
We just watch documentaries.
I watch documentaries. I think my problem is that I can answer some questions on I can answer questions on quiz shows, and I can answer questions on University Challenge, but when asked to add 6 to 9, it just goes straight out the window. Do you know what I mean though? When you'll be like, oh wow, I watched this documentary the other day on how quantum physics. We're like, Dan, 3 times 3.
Dan, what's the fourth letter of the alphabet?
Yeah. Let's get really confused.
Apron. Yeah, we're not great, and obviously this whole podcast is very much on the fly anyway, so we're kind of riffing it as we go. So it very much does come up with some of the.
Oh, such a spoiler, because these people think it's well rehearsed.
Oh, yeah, actually. It says in the script to say that as well, so just to let you know. We actually make a script beforehand. We spend. We like to pretend that we have a laissez-faire attitude towards it, but actually it's all scripted, even all the fuck-ups.
It's incredible actors.
We are amazing. In fact, this isn't my real voice. My real voice is, hello, I speak like this. I am Jeffrey... I don't know. I think I need a nap.
You need an apron.
I think we should call it Nathan from up. So, Dan, what's new in your life?
My keyring broke. I had to put a new keyring on my keys.
That is genuinely the most boring answer I've ever heard about. Is that all what's happened to you?
No, because I have a camel on my key. I'll show you. For the record, jingle jingle, some keys. Look, you see at the moment, please describe to the viewers what my key ring looks like.
So, there's 3 keys, and there's some form of flag. I'm going to guess South Africa.
South Africa, yes. What's weird though is I didn't get that in South Africa.
Where did you get it from?
I actually got it from a South Africa training day I had to go to for my job. By the South African Tourism Board gave me that.
And it's quite a funky flag, the South African flag. Can you describe it to the listeners?
Yeah, it's black.
I mean, the flag, not the people.
Sorry.
Oh, it's usually you saying about things.
Oh, wow. Wow. Wow, off to a strong start.
Oh, we can't keep that, can we?
I don't think it's alright.
I'm triply ashamed, viewer. I'm not in the greatest mindset. Anyway,
no, it's very colourful.
Let's give a.
It's got lots of colours. It's black, yellow, green, white, red, and blue.
And it's kind of it's got a Y shape in it as well.
It does, yeah. I mean, people know it's a South African flag.
No, I don't. I wouldn't know. I guessed it was a South African flag because you went on holiday there recently, and it looks like the kind of thing you would.
It's very colourful, the South African flag.
Yeah. It's it's got a green Y in it, and there's and from the Y there's white.
It's because that's why they call it the Rainbow Nation.
Oh, really?
Yeah, not just because of its flag, but also because of its many diverse cultures and languages.
Because you mentioned in the previous podcast, there's lots of different languages there. Right?
Yeah, lots.
That's cool. Sorry.
But what I was going to say is, I did have a camel, but at work, my colleague, because I have my work key on my keys rings, which is obviously where a key belongs, and they found it on the floor, and then I realised, no, that's my camel, and it's fallen off, and I can't fix it. And I feel, even though this South Africa flag is very thin, I don't know about you with key rings, but I feel like I always have to have a key ring. It kind of does something, it pads it out, I don't know, it identifies these as mine, as opposed to just having a bunch of keys that aren't just, I
also need keys that I know that I can feel that they're there as well.
Yeah.
And I used to have loads of keychains, but then it's too much.
Yeah. Especially if you've got your car keys and all that kind of stuff on them.
What Dan just did, he tried to slickly throw his keys onto the sides like a kind of Fonzie kind of moment. He missed and I just fell to the floor.
That was really embarrassing. The table was about a foot away from me.
Yeah, less.
I could literally put my hand on the table, but I tried to do a throw.
Oh, I think we need a chill out time. Maybe we should have a nap first and do the rest of this podcast. It's kind of weird though. Like, I find it weird that the only thing going on in your life is that a keychain broke. Like,
well, kind of actually. It's kind of sad, isn't it?
Yeah, well, yes, yeah, I think
it is.
so.
It is sad
because my life's full of rich things, and just for basic decency, I can't mention them right now. But I got lots of stand-up material at the moment. But like, it's very. Oh, talking about doing maths on the spot. By the way, I did a show at the stand recently. It's my first ever contest slot at the stand.
Good job. Where the hell's the stand?
At the stand in Newcastle. You've been there before.
Oh, the one I've been to.
Yeah,
that was a nice little gig.
When
you got roasted by a kid.
Context.
That's a bit roasted, kid.
Don't say that, please. So it was at the stand. It was Red Raw, 300 people there. I compared it for the first time, did really well. However, one of the acts on stage, there's a techie, and you have a very tight timetable. You have to stick to your time. If you don't, you're probably not going to get booked again. So there's this one act that's like, how much time have I got left? Which is quite an unprofessional thing to do. And Monica, she's a lovely kind of Australian girl, and she's not quite awkward when under pressure. And she was like, you've got 8 minutes left. And he goes, oh really? And he'd already been on stage for 10 minutes, but she couldn't add up properly. She was like, 8 minutes. Beautiful. And then she had to put the light up and go, no, it's actually right now, I'm really sorry. It's beautiful though.
That was funny.
I've got another story from the stand, but I'll save that for another podcast, Dan. Because, you know me, full of stories, Matt.
Full of stories.
It's one of my most gratifying features, isn't it, Dan?
You always have stories?
Stories for every occasion.
I think that's true, yeah.
What's some of the most positive aspects of my... If you had to build me an online dating profile, what would you build me as?
Which I clearly don't need to do, judging by watching you on your phone. The speed this guy messages women. That's creepy. I would say you are.
How would you? If I was something like how would you build sell me on this?
Well, I'd say you're funny.
Oh, thanks.
So yeah, very good sense of humour.
Oh, yeah.
In that you are funny and that you find things funny. You're very receptive to all kinds of humour.
I love a good.
Love a chuckle.
Chuckle.
We both love a chuckle.
Love a chuckle.
I think you're. See, I want to try and think of non-generic stuff. I don't want to say you are kind and caring, but I don't want to. That's just.
I do love long walks on the beach.
Long walks on the beach. I would say that you are certainly not a. You are certainly a stay in and watch a movie kind of guy.
Yeah, well, I think I am. I'm very much. I like staying.
I think I am too. It's not a bad thing.
I think I'm
not a go out and get party. I like to go out for things like dinner and theatre and.
I'm Netflix, not nightclub.
Netflix, not nightclub. There we go. Good one.
But in the same vein, though,
more of a hot chocolate by the fire than
a vegan hot chocolate by a vegan fire. Wait, why would you be drinking... Oh, yeah, I guess you're drinking hot chocolate because you're cold, but, that'd probably too warm for me. Probably just a glass of almond milk by a electric fire.
You've changed since you've moved into a house.
Oh, yeah.
Now you're saying that, that's too hot for me, because back in your caravan days, you would have taken a chocolate by the fire.
Wait, I would have been set on fire, I would have been happy, and still would have been like, it's a bit nippy. We moved into the house, and Dan... have you ever felt what 4 walls feels like? It's amazing.
It's incredible.
Yeah, and don't get woken up every night by the sounds of the caravan shaking. What could it be? Don't ask questions, Matt. That's
So you pretty much fully moved in, because when I saw it was in the process. There wasn't really furniture, but your bathrooms and the it'd been plastered and things like the kitchen. Was it in bathrooms and showers, toilets were in, but the other stuff, things like sofas, tables, they weren't in.
Yeah, it's all pretty much done. We're pretty much moved in now.
Is it all painted, decorated?
Yeah, it's looking pretty sharp. And
what needs to be done?
Just like kind of sort out the rest of the rooms and all the moving
Little
furniture.
fiddly stuff. Yeah.
It's really. But I realised I got so much clothes, if you know what I mean. Like, I got like 3 massive bags full, and they're all just band t-shirts. And they're just like, when I was a teenager, I used to collect band t-shirts. Every time I go to a gig, I'll get a t-shirt. And so I just have a whole wardrobe of black clothing, if you know what I mean. I get unintentional goth, if you know what I mean. Dan, you haven't been to many gigs, have you?
No, I've been to one.
I love live music. I like to go all the time. And what was the band you went to see?
30 Seconds to Mars.
Dan is not a live music fan.
I might be going to see Muse in June, though.
That's a real band.
That'll be good, yeah.
But Dan also listened to his colleague Noah, who appeared in the bonus episode. Noah introduced some Machine Head recently.
He did, yeah.
And how would you describe Machine Head, the band, to our viewers?
Very heavy metal.
Yeah. Can you do some singing? Maybe. That genuinely sounds like
like that.
Yeah, that's actually sound like genuinely one of their songs called Imperium.
Imperium, one of my favourites.
Do you actually know that?
No, you mentioned it earlier. I did that impression earlier today.
I think they're very heavy. I went to see them live, and I went to see them in Newcastle. They're really awesome. I went by myself. First gig I ever went to by myself.
What a weird gig to go to by yourself.
Well, you know, I'm a solo guy, Dan. You know, but it was really good fun. However, they kind of went over the curfew a little bit, and I thought, yeah, I'll watch them to the end. Gotta be wary of the train tonight, so I'm pretty sure one leaves at 11:15.
Where was this?
In Newcastle.
In Newcastle.
So I left, got there in time for 11:15.
What nationality are Machine Head?
American. Yeah, they do a lot of American material, and they're very, very left wing, and they talk about that stuff. They got some really amazing songs about the most recent album called Catharsis. It's about like basically kind of Trump kind of politics as well.
Okay.
It's about dealing with all that and talk about. I'm not sure if you know about. I can't remember the name of the guy, but he used to be the lead singer in Pantera, Phil Anselmo, and basically he came out a couple of years ago, and he was like, he did a gig, and it was like, white power, white power, white power, and he was like, no, I meant white wine, white wine, white wine. And so Rob Flynn, who was the leader of Machine Head, he called him out, he did the whole video of it, and I love that because he's calling out racism, even though, and he talks about like having to disown his brothers since Trump politics because like all these racists are coming out, if you know what I mean. And I've always wondered about that, Dan. This might be a boring point, but like I really love like southern rock music, like Lynyrd Skynyrd and stuff like that. But how many of those people would have voted Trump? You know what I mean? Is that something to consider? Isn't it?
So anyway, you were going to miss your train.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I forgot. So I was like, okay, I'll leave before the end so I can get my train. However, I didn't check my train times, and when I got there at 2:15, the final train had gone home 5 minutes ago, and I was stuck in Newcastle for the night. And I was a bit concerned about what to do. I was like, I don't want to get a taxi.
How long ago was this?
It happened in May.
Oh, okay.
I was like a bit like concerned, and I said to the train guys, "Oh, is there any way back to Darlington?" Like, no, you gotta get the National Express or something like that.
Oh, there's no way you can change. And,
there was this. There's this other guy who wants to go to Darlington, and this guy was fucking weird, right? He said, "Oh, I've been to Darlington the last couple of nights. You know, had to get the taxi down. I missed the train every time." Firstly, no one wants to go to Darlington. Secondly, no one wants to go to Darlington after 11 o'clock.
He hadn't been at the gig with you?
Just a random person who's been there 3 times in a row, who turns out he goes there for strip clubs.
Okay, nice.
This is already painting a picture,
Yes.
right? He's quite a weird bloke, and it's like, oh, maybe you two can share a taxi together. I was like, absolutely not. But he was there, so I couldn't really say that to his face. So I was like, oh, I'm just going to check the National Express. He was like, oh, I'll come with you. But you sure we can't get a taxi? He was like, something very expensive, mate. I goes, oh, fine. So I walked.
How much do you reckon a taxi would be?
Well,
hundreds.
I know for a fact, £70.
Is it from this night?
Yes. £70, and the moral of the story is, so what happened is I went to the National Express place, but I didn't want to go with the guy because I don't want to. He tried to attach me to his friendship,
yeah.
And then so he was looking into a taxi, And whilst he was looking at a taxi, I made a dash for it because I didn't want to stick with him. So I left the weird man by himself, went to the National Express. There was no coaches till about 7 o'clock in the morning. It's like, fuck, I got nowhere to go, nowhere to get back. My phone was broken, so I couldn't call the cab.
Yeah.
So I walked back to the train station, and there was the guy. He got into a cab and goes. So I was like, do I beg? He was like, so are you going to Darlington? He goes, yeah, I am. How are you getting there? So whoa! He just he's like he kind of rolled up the window as well. I was like, whoa, okay, wow, yeah. So I spent £70 on a cab home, and I hated every minute of that journey.
Moral of the story: check your train times.
Moral of the story: don't listen to metal music.
Don't listen to metal music. It's pretty crazy.
That was a weird story, wasn't it?
It was. Shall we do some myths?
Yeah, let's do some myths. So, Dan, we have a special, not a special kind of theme for today, don't we?
We do, and I guess we don't really have a title. Basically, there are a lot of very little myths, aren't there? That are funny and enjoyable, but they don't take very long to discuss. And they can't really be full episodes. And so we wanted to fit them all into this episode, just to give you a few snippets of fun little...
Yeah, as Dan said, there's been stories we've had to miss out because they don't fill up a whole episode. However, we thought today we would kind of put them all in the same kind of vein and just really just allow them to have a bit of shine time, really. Because I think there's some...
It's episode 41. We've done a lot of the big boys.
So let's
do a shout out to some of the little guys.
Yeah, and if it's a successful thing in the future, we can maybe do some more like these short ones as well. Yeah, so
it'll be about 6, I think we're going to cover
6
today.
Short stories.
6 short stories.
And
should we do one each?
Yeah, well 3 each, surely.
You know what I mean.
I did know what you mean.
We alternately take one after the other.
No, we'll do one each and then sit in silence for the next 4, okay? Yeah. Okay.
Can I do the first one?
No.
Because there's no way I'm going to... Actually, there's no way I'm going to be able to pronounce
it. Actually, no, you can do it now, yeah. So we're going to do 6 of them now, and so, with no particular order, we're just going to go for it, aren't we? And we kind of picked some which have... very weird ones, the more effed up scale.
A little bit.
And to clarify, we're going to be marking these all together.
All together, we'll just kind of... Because there's not a lot of substance to some of these because they're so short.
So they may not... There's no correlation between them. There's no kind of certain running theme, but just the short stories. So, Dan, what's the first one?
Instead of reading out the title, because I think that gives it away,
yeah.
I think we'll just... So this one is about a guy called Aristheon.
Yeah.
And do you think I've nailed that?
Yeah, you did actually, yeah. It's the first time. 41 episodes.
Aristheon.
So, the way we're going to do this is we're just going to read out the paragraph and with no heading or anything like that. We're going to go in blind.
And then discuss.
Okay, go for it.
Or discuss during. Okay.
Or be disgusted.
Okay. So I think, Matt, this little story we're about to do about Aristheon is a good one as to the gods. They like to punish people, right?
Yes, in many ways.
Let's think about some ways the gods have punished people. King Midas, everything he touched turned to gold.
Yes,
wasn't so much a punishment actually. He kind of asked for that.
Yeah, I guess,
Tantalus.
Yes, Tantalus and is it Sisyphus as well?
Sisyphus, yeah,
and the tour of Tartarus, and also people like Zeus turning people to cows.
Zeus turning Prometheus.
Yes, and
had his liver eaten out every day.
Hero hurting people.
Arachne.
Yeah, Arachne as well. It's countless
ideas of, and this is a pretty bad one. It's pretty messed up.
Yeah.
So this is a guy called Aristheon.
Yeah.
He's a human being. Now, this man was incredibly greedy and incredibly rich. So a bit like a Midas, I guess. He's very wealthy, very greedy. And he really didn't pay any attention to the gods. One day, he cut down a sacred grove of trees in order to build another feast hall. So, basically, he wants an extension onto his massive house.
Yeah.
He needs another feast hall. So he's like, I'll get rid of all those sacred trees. I'm just going to build a massive house.
Hell, I don't need one feast hall. I need 2 for double feasting.
For double bit. Demeter, she was not impressed. So she decided to punish him, obviously. # gods. She gave him an appetite so strong that he wanted to eat everything. He ate all the food he had, then all the food he could buy, until he had completely exhausted all of his wealth. He even tried to sell his own daughter for food.
Wow.
This reduced him to such poverty that he was lost standing his home everything. So he's lost everything because he's trying to eat. He's sold everything for food.
Uh-huh.
He had nothing else left, so he turned on himself and was killed by eating his own flesh.
Oh my god.
So she made him so hungry that he ate everything, including himself.
So he was...
And this obviously happened over a course of a long time.
And he was fiscally greedy and turned genuinely greedy.
Because he had he had to sell of his wealth.
One thing, although he is always hungry, he doesn't say what his metabolism was like. So did he just get incredibly fat? Like, did he?
That's true.
Like, because
I get the idea that he's just staying normal, but he just needs to. He's got like an addiction almost.
I think it's funnier if he just gets really fat
and then eats himself.
Yeah, exactly. And then eating the flesh would take a long time, and he might like cook off his arm or something like that.
Do you think that's quite disturbing though?
Yeah,
the thought of a man being so desperate and being so ravenous with hunger that he eats his own himself.
Yeah, selling his daughter for food as well. That's pretty messed up.
Yeah.
Well, why didn't he eat his daughter?
The idiot.
Yeah, dumbass.
Because he wants to. Because if he sells her, she's not dead. She's going to a better place.
Oh yeah, slavery's great. Yeah.
So that's one, Erisichthon. So yeah, there's no way that would have been an episode on its own. But it's a nice little myth about God punishing someone.
And
poor old Erisichthon. Don't be. And what do you think the moral of that story is, Matt?
Eat yourself.
Eat yourself.
So this is to involve with Hera, the queen of all goddesses.
Jupiter's wife.
Well, Zeus technically.
Zeus' wife.
But sometimes people just need a spa day to unwind. But Hera took it one extra kind of unnerving step further. Every year, Hera would go to the spring of Canaphos at Nauplilia.
One of my favourite springs.
What other springs are your favourites?
The spring of
69?
69, yeah.
It was the spring of 69! Also, spring, Buxton Spring, where they get the
Alice Springs, that's a place. It's not really a spring though, is it? It's just a city in Australia.
Australia, where King Midas is from.
Yeah.
So, the Canaphos at Nauplilia, where Hera would have a nice, lovely, relaxing bath. But while she was having fun, relaxing and bathing, she would also magically restore her own virginity. That meant that Hera was perpetually a virgin, no matter how many people, including her own husband, she went to bed with. So, Dan, I believe that between us two, we've also restored our virginity to that level.
I have, yes.
From the lack of the total inactivity of both our sex lives, we've grown it back. Every time. But it's a weird thing to kind of want to grow back, surely.
It is. I bet Zeus is all over that.
Well, let's find out. And considering Zeus's sexual appetite, would anyone blame her if she had someone on their side? But it didn't stop there. Mortals would actually bathe statues of her to restore her virginity, oftentimes before a major social event as a sign of reverence.
Oh, so the actual Greeks used to bathe her statues?
Yeah, it's like kind of a ritual kind of thing. So the mortals would restore her virginity.
Because virginity is a big thing in a lot of these myths. Like Zeus wanted a virgin nymph, and he wanted. Do you know what I mean?
I guess
a virgin priestess. It's all about purity, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of patriarchal views there because it's like you can either be pure or you're nothing. You're either a virgin or a slut. You know what I mean? It's like there's no in between.
Yes.
And as I say slut, I mean that's the reference of the page. That's not my view, but I'm just saying that people have that kind of.
That's how they polarise it.
Yeah, it's a very. But why would you kind of mentioned earlier? It didn't say here, but apparently she would restore her own virginity for her own kind of sexual amusement. So every time would feel like the first time. But
isn't that painful?
Yeah, right. That's not a good experience.
No.
At least it's. Yeah,
or is it good? Is it new in the sense that it's like, exciting, and she doesn't know what to expect?
I think that's...
Is it like her memory of it is also gone?
But I don't... Yeah,
but
if only we knew what a hymen was, Dan. If only we knew.
If only we knew. My mum did tell us.
A piece of plastic, she said.
Right, yeah, a membrane, as my mum said. That's so weird.
Which is genuinely the weirdest email we've ever got. Your mum telling us what a hymen is.
The next one is Ioxion.
Not even close.
Ioxion.
Ixion.
Ixion. Okay, I get it now. Ixion. Okay, this story goes that Ixion was in exile for certain crimes against fellow humans. When Zeus took pity on him and invited him to come to Mount Olympus as a guest. That's nice of Zeus.
And this is very unusual because
he doesn't let mortals. He's a human, I assume.
Humans can't go to Olympus. That's kind of pretty. But then again, there's so many exceptions to the rule.
And the ones that have. Ganymede went up there, but that was so he could be... raped.
A lot of things went up there as well.
Yeah, so Miffs went up there. That was definitely about permission.
And I guess people like who cooked their son for Tantalus, yeah. And Pelops as well.
Pelops went up there. A lot of people went up there and then did mess stuff up. But this guy's been invited. That's the difference.
Yeah, I guess.
Once there, he saw Hera and became completely obsessed with getting her into bed.
Wow, brand new virginity. Yes, please.
To test his loyalty, Zeus created a cloud version of Hera, which Ixion then somehow impregnated. There we go. That was... Okay, so... Zeus has invited this felon, by the way. This criminal... Who, by the way, we actually don't know what crimes he's done against humans. But
I think we know.
I think it's pretty bad. So Zeus is like, hey man, I feel sorry for you. Come up to Mount Olympus, and he's like, oh wow, imagine being invited by Zeus.
And the first thing
he does is like, oh, your wife's fit, I want to bang her. And then Zeus is like, whoa. But I want to see if we can become friends, because I kind of like how horny you are.
Well, yeah, it's like, that's why I invited you up here. Like,
yeah, respect.
In fact, I've got some tips I wanted to learn. But
so he's like, oh, Zeus is like, you know what? If you really fancy my wife, let's test this. Let's see if you would actually go as far as to sleep with her. I'm going to make a cloud version of her and see what you do. And he somehow manages to impregnate it.
So, he says he wanted to test his loyalty, though. But why would he have loyalty anyway? If you know what I mean? Like,
they don't know each other.
Exactly. Yeah. The word I was going to say is, of course, he impregnated his cloud version wife. But also, he's had sex with this cloud, right? How has he not realised it's a cloud during the
love because it doesn't say Zeus created a version of Hera. It's very specifically a cloud version. Version.
Well, have you ever had sex with a cloud before?
I haven't, no. But I have a sheep, so that's kind of similar.
We'll move on.
How does one impregnate a cloud? It is hard to say, Matt, but what we do know is Zeus became incredibly angry and punished Ixion by transforming him into a giant flaming wheel.
What? That's so weird.
Do you know what? I'm so pissed off of you, man who is a criminal, who I unexpectedly invited into my house.
Why would you betray my trust?
Yeah, why would you?
Why would this criminal betray my trust?
That's like a known murderer, burglar. You invite him into your house. He steals everyone. He murders your family.
He steals everyone. Murders all your items.
He steals all your items and murders your family. And then you're like, why have you betrayed my loyalty? Like, come on, man. Like, you didn't actually know the guy. He's not like your friend. You know what I mean? Befriend them before you invite them into your house. Yeah, that's fair enough. By all means, befriend people who have committed crimes. They're people too. But
yes,
you know what I mean.
Sure. And
anyway, so he then gets turned into a flaming wheel.
But that's why a giant flaming wheel.
I don't know.
Right? And so, do you know what Ixion's surname is? His full name is Ixion Ferris, and he was the first ever Ferris wheel.
So he transforms him into a giant flaming wheel. Absolutely nothing on that.
And I think that's it for Ixion.
That's it. Yeah.
But there's no further context as well, right?
Yeah.
And what's he do? Just go around all day?
I don't know. I guess so. What was the use of a giant flaming wheel? Where's he going to go?
Yeah,
Catherine Wheel, maybe.
He's actually Ixion's other surname was Guy Fawkes.
Yeah. And what of this cloud offspring, Matt? What happened to the cloud baby? He was named Centaurus and was known for mating with a whole bunch of horses. And from what came the mythical creature known as the centaur, half man and half horse. So there's descendants of all of the centaurs. They've come up a lot, half man, half horse. They are the offspring of this humanoid cloud that mated with horses.
This is one of the most perplexing ones we've ever giant flaming wheel, a cloud.
Do you think
sex?
This all started back. Let me take you back to Greek times. They've just told an epic story about maybe Chiron, the centaur. and a kid says, "Hey, Dad, great story. Why are there centaurs?" He says, "Oh, they're just half horse-sized humans." "Yeah, but why, Dad?" "Oh, they just are." "But why?" "Yeah, Dad, why?" "Well, there's a guy who was a cloud, and he mated with some horses." And everyone's like, "Oh, that makes sense, yeah."
Yeah. But imagine how awkward it is. Like, if Ixions had sex with this cloud version of Hera, presumably it's just a cloud full of spunk, you know what I mean? It just kind of goes around and just drips on people, you know what I mean? So it's just looking around, it's like,
oh, weird rain.
Yeah. Oh, it's very gooey.
Yeah. This is a weird one. There's a lot to that, but yeah. I mean, I just like how they don't mention what happened to the flaming wheel. Ixion just, off he goes.
That's it.
Somewhere in Mount Olympus, is he... What is it? He's just somewhere there's a giant flaming wheel.
If you guys see a giant flaming wheel in your persons, email us at Miffs Podcast. That's what I forgot to say. When I was in Nottingham, about to do the bonfire gig,
from last week.
I did the show at Nottingham Comedy Festival. I was a bit late to the show because there was massive firework event, and basically this major bonfire, absolutely massive. People were around there, massive in the middle of Nottingham. And when I arrived, I was like, "Oh, it's nice to see that big bonfire fire there." And he goes, "What do you mean?" And he goes, "The big bonfire fire?" And then I was like, for a minute, I was like, he didn't realise there wasn't one there. But in my head, I thought, maybe that's a thing in Nottingham. There's just this massive fire all the time. In The Simpsons, they have a tyre fire.
Yeah.
So I just thought, maybe that's just Nottingham's always on fire. Oh no, it's on fire again. Oh no, it's Nottingham. Anyway.
What's our next myth, short story?
It's about a god we talk about a lot, we don't know the origins for. This is the origins of Dionysus. There have been some weird births in Greek mythology.
Like Kronos.
Kronos, yeah.
Aphrodite was a spunky penis foam from the sea.
Yeah, that little sea foam, yeah. Oh god, we have so many great episodes, don't we? If you haven't listened to them all, go for a back catalogue, enjoy it. However, Dionysus, the god of theatre and wine and good times, was I didn't make that one up. The last one, yeah, apparently it just says good times. Dionysus was probably one of the strangest. It all began with Zeus. Again, not being able to keep it in his pants. He slept with a mortal princess named Semele, and she became pregnant with his child. Is Semele the moon girl from last week?
She was, yeah.
So Pan did it with her.
Was she?
Let's have a look.
We actually do have the notes from episode.
Oh, Selene, no.
Selene, no, it's not. Different woman.
Semele. Semele rings the bell, though.
Yeah.
So he banged Semele, bam, and she became pregnant with his child. Again, as we mentioned beforehand, everyone's very potent.
Very fertile.
Yeah, very fertile. Hera, Zeus' wife, took issue with this, as she usually did, and decided to ruin everything. How is this always the case that he shagged, she ruins, sad for mortals everywhere?
Yeah.
She sowed the seeds of doubt in the girl's mind, and eventually Semele asked to see Zeus in full, to know that he really existed and really loved her. Poor girl. Zeus had sworn an oath to do anything to her, and was bound to do it. Of course, seeing Zeus in all of his glory killed any mortal who looked, and the princess was engulfed in flame. Now hold on one second. Ixion was a mortal and saw Zeus.
Absolutely fine. Ganymede, absolutely fine.
And literally
Theseus,
anyone else,
absolutely fine.
Everyone else is fine, but this one person is like allergic to God.
God, yeah. That's so weird.
So she also turned into a massive fire. So like Ixion, I suppose. But so seeing that his new lover was dead, Zeus was determined to save the unborn baby. Can you save an unborn baby from being burnt alive as she was engulfed by flame?
Probably, yeah, because the womb is in a bit of water, so it'll probably be alright.
Yeah, put it out, yeah, it's fine, yeah. So, this is about the part where the script kind of makes us look a bit weird here. It goes, so, of course, he took her from the womb and put him someplace safe in his own thigh. Yeah, of course, that's the natural thing to do. Yeah. So he takes the baby from the womb and puts it in his thigh. Like a chicken.
Like a chicken.
Zeus managed to keep the baby there until he was big enough to emerge. So
he's created his thighs like become a womb.
Yeah, he's pregnant thigh as well. And that must be awful to sit down on.
Yeah, that's. But why your thigh though? Why would you not put it in your stomach, or do you know what I mean? Would you not become pregnant?
Yeah. If you had to put a baby on you, not in like your belly area, where would you put it?
I suppose the thigh's not a bad one. Your back, maybe? That becomes awkward.
But then again, you know what? Arm, bicep. You can have double baby on the go.
Yeah, that's true.
Look like you really work out in the gym.
Yeah, that's true.
But again, you have to think of the birth as well. Where's it going to come out? Well, where's it come out in the thigh?
Yeah, I don't think put it in your thigh anywhere, really.
Or maybe calf. That might be quite good.
Calf might be. Calf's a good one.
Anyway, we have a couple more, don't we, Dan?
So that was interesting. That's why he's a thing.
Which is your favourite one so far?
Oh, it's got to be bloody cloud sex,
Cloud-jizz.
Centaurs, flaming wheel.
And, you know, as I mentioned earlier, the jizz cloud. That jizz cloud just kind of goes around just rubbing itself against horses as well. It's so weird. This podcast is weird.
Okay, this is a guy called Lycurgus.
Lycurgus. Yeah, Lycurgus of Thrace.
Remember the whole theme of Don't Piss Off the Gods, Matt?
Yes, I do.
Well, Lycurgus could have really used a reminder before he did what he's about to do. So, he also is a guy who got punished. So, the story goes that Lycurgus attacked and injured everyone's favourite party god, Dionysus. Good callback, because we just heard about how he was and he's the god of good times.
God of good times and thigh births.
While he was on a wine tour through the mortal world. So basically, I read that badly. Yes. But basically, he's on a wine tour and he's having a party, and someone's attacked and injured him. How do you attack and injure a god? They're very human sometimes, and very not human other times. It's very weird.
Bear in mind that the simile was burnt alive from seeing a god. Lycurgus is able to hit a god and attack him.
Actually, yeah. Although that burning in flames is the first time we've come across that. Everyone else is fine. All the mortals that Zeus slept with never burst into flames.
Do you know what
Hercules, his mum, Theseus' mum.
I just realised what it was, Dan. Zeus, he set her on fire. He's like, oh, gotta get rid of this one. Oh no, you left the god. Oh, go. Oh, go.
Like, Zeus, you look at mortals all the time. Oh no, but this one.
He literally has sex with him all the time. How would you get her pregnant without seeing the full form? Because that sounds creepy.
No, there are so many stories. That's the only time, in all the times mortals have met gods, that's happened. So he definitely set her on fire.
And with Idas versus Apollo as well. They fought face to face.
Hermes and Penelope, they were fine.
Well, yes, yeah.
But anyway, in this case, Lycurgus has, as always, hasn't burnt into flames, and he's attacked Dionysus in the mortal world. The gods punished Lycurgus with madness. In the heat of this madness, Lycurgus saw his son and instantly said, "By golly, there's a weed or a vine over there that needs clipping." He then promptly got an axe and killed his own son, as well as the rest of his family. After that, some myths say he used the same axe to cut off his own legs, as one does in a fit of madness. Of course. Even after death, he was given no respect, and was entombed in a rock. So if you're going to wrong the gods, wronging the god of wine and good times is probably the worst. So he's attacked someone on a party. Turns out, oh god, it's Dionysus on a mad bender with his god mates. They've all got angry, and they have made him have a vision, essentially, that he sees his children and family as weeds, plants, and he wants to get rid of them, so he chops them down.
It's nice that he's such a keen horticulturist. It's like, oh no, I need to make sure this plant's getting the full nutrition. No weeds in this garden. His first thing isn't just like, oh, that's a talking weed. That's going to be something that's not out of the ordinary.
No, he just immediately like, I need to get rid of this.
Also, if you're going to be gardening, why are you trying to chop down a weed with an axe?
I was thinking that.
Yeah, what a weird thing. Yeah, imagine Alan Titchmarsh going, die, daffodils. What a mad bastard.
Just axing some Japanese knotweed. Oh, that's funny.
But, he cut his own legs off as well. Also, I love how posh he is as well. After hitting a god of wine, he's like, oh, by golly. It's like, it's very, very, very middle class as well.
Oh, wow. That was a weird one.
Yeah. Okay, so this is the final one. And it's about another origin.
I think I feel like we may have alluded to this before, actually. But this is a fun one anyway.
This is about Athena. And surprisingly, we're back to Zeus being a hopeless lech. There was a woman named Metis, whom Zeus desired. And Metis was, I think it was his kind of first
I've heard of Metis
proper
as well.
girlfriend,
Yeah.
I think. She heard a prophecy that her child would overthrow... No, Metis was the one for Achilles. Isn't it Metis' wedding where it starts off the whole Achilles saga, right?
It does, I think. Yes, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, because Metis...
Is that his wedding that Achilles' parents meet?
yeah...
Is it not?
Or is it Thetis?
Thetis is Achilles. Thetis is Achilles. Thetis is Achilles' dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, who knows?
Anyway, whoever it is.
Oh, wait, yeah, well... Yeah, sorry. I think Metis is a girlfriend. You know when Kronos he has to hide. I think Metis is
that's why I think I've heard this. We've done something similar to this myth. Like it will come. Yeah,
God, I love how it all intertwines, though. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So, Metis heard a prophecy that her child would overthrow Zeus. He too got wind of this, and the wind probably had jizz in it as well, because everything does in the Greek world, and did the only logical thing he could think of. He swallowed Metis and her unborn child whole. Problem solved, right? Sometime later, Zeus began to have terrible headaches, and it wasn't his conscience banging on the wall. Hermes, who was a pretty bright guy, told Hephaestus to take a wedge and break open Zeus's skull, because that's how you cure headaches. I love it because Hermes is like, right, this is our one time to get Zeus back. Hephaestus, get that fucking wedge and stick it in the skull. Get the bastard back.
And then Zeus is like, guys, can I just have an aspirin? Sorry, mate, this is gotta be done.
Yeah. When they cut open Zeus' skull, a fully grown female warrior sprang out, completely dressed in warrior's armour. This was Athena, appropriately enough, the goddess of wisdom and intellect, which she didn't get from her father.
So that's Athena's... I feel like we've done similar things to that. Maybe I'm getting confused with all the times Zeus has put things in his body parts and span out a baby. And that woman that ate rocks and stuff. But Athena springs out fully armoured from his head.
Do you think he would have noticed where did the armour come from?
A baby's come out of his head, Matt. I don't think that's the first...
Why is she dressed though? Like, imagine if you came out wearing a suit and tie.
I did, actually.
Didn't we allude to this in another podcast where you would come out fully grown? I should have cut that bit.
It's amazing with hindsight what you can cut and not cut.
Yep. Oh, how I wish I could change. But yeah, so that was a weird one. And presumably Metis died.
Yeah, she's dead.
Actually, I think Laura alluded to this. I think Metis lives inside his head as like he's a part of a conscience.
Yes,
well. She's like,
yeah.
Maybe don't be such a philandering dick.
She obviously does a great job.
Yeah, in all fairness, imagine like having some. That's trying to shout into a hurricane, isn't it? Like,
no, but Laura did allude to that. So yeah, she stayed inside of him.
And that is the end of our compilation.
Hey there, my name is Matt Huss, and in this link I have an American accent, and I advocate the safe use of Miffs podcasts in small doses.
Ha 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 ha.
Miffs, 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 Miffs. Miffs, 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 Miffs. Miffs is now in part 3.
Okay, time to rank it and spank it. Remember Pan's episode last week, Dan?
Yeah.
I told you on the phone we're going to be doing Pan, and I said as a joke, the term spank comes from Pan, and you believed it.
I did believe it, yeah.
And it's actually quite feasible after that, last week's Miffs as well.
It is.
Anyway, enough about last week's Miffs.
So,
this week's Miffs.
How do we rank Miffs, Matt?
Well, for this one in particular, we're going to be doing it as a whole, so that all the 6 stories together and how we feel towards them. And I think... so we rank them in 4 categories: life skills, morals.
I'm going to do the writing as always.
Morals and creativity and the WTF factor.
Okay, life skills.
So life skills, the practical things we learned. So
what did we learn out of all 6 of these? We learned how to turn someone into a giant flaming wheel.
Yes, that's the first.
How to turn someone into a cloud.
We learned how to procreate and how to gestate and how to give birth to lots of different things.
We learned how to eat yourself.
Yeah. Yes. Well, already knew that, Dan. Very flexible down there.
We learn how to crack open a skull.
We learn how to do some gardening.
Learn how to do some gardening.
/ murder your family.
Family, yeah.
Potato, tomato, really. Learn how to grow conscience. We
Learn how to keep a baby in a thigh.
Learn not to piss off the gods.
Learn not to piss off the gods. That's a life skill.
I guess learn.
Not a crazy amount, really.
I think there's quite a lot. Look at the scope of what we're looking at, and
That's
some
true.
big things. Learn how to grow my virginity back.
I forgot about that. Learn how to grow your virginity back.
Learn how to bathe. Also learn how to. Yeah, I guess sell your daughter.
So your daughter.
I think this is pretty high in all fairness.
Yeah, there's a lot actually.
I'm gonna say either a 7 or an 8.
I think we'll go 7.
Why
I
not
don't
an
know if
8
it's
though?
an 8 because
But then we solve so much. Like we
they life skill stuff though. They're not like other life skills in other myths where it's been like physically like building a boat, surviving on your own, hunting. This is weird stuff like, oh, I learned to sell my daughter. That's not a life. Anyone can
but
sell a
stuff
daughter.
like procreating and learn how to gestate and and cutting stuff down. Yeah, you're right. 7.
Boom.
Morality, the keeper life, and you and
I'm trying to
me.
think. So what have we got? Let's do it on. So we've got don't be too greedy.
Don't be too greedy.
Don't be too greedy, or else you'll be punished and you'll eat yourself.
Don't bathe, or else your virginity will grow back. That's the one I learned.
Yeah, don't bathe. Don't. Well, the moral of that is it doesn't matter if you're a virgin or not. Actually,
yeah.
I don't think it's the moral of that
Yeah,
particular story.
yeah.
It's not that particular message.
It doesn't matter. Yeah.
Don't sell your daughter.
Don't be ashamed of your sexuality.
Don't be ashamed of your sexuality. Don't.
But then again, be ashamed of having sex with a cloud.
Yeah.
that's something you should be ashamed of.
If you are getting invited to Mount Olympus as a mortal, don't sleep with Zeus's wife.
Oh, let me just rephrase that. If you're being invited to
Anyone's
just
house.
don't sleep with Zeus.
Just don't sleep with Zeus's wife.
I learned that don't look at Zeus or you might get set on fire.
Might get set on fire.
I suppose
Don't attack a god.
Don't attack a god. And
Don't kill your children.
and
Well, that is the moral still with don't attack a god.
yeah, and also clarify: don't murder your children. Just
Don't murder your children.
if you got a pain in the arse boss, stick a wedge in his face.
Stick a wedge in his face.
And and how? Yeah, I guess not too much here.
Not crazy morals, aren't they? They're more like just weird.
I think 5-ish.
I think a 5. This is going to be a big one. 2 big boys coming up. Creativity. This is very creative.
I think
if you put all of these together, like
killing your own, all of these together, are strong by themselves, but
eating
together,
yourself to death because you're too greedy. That's a good creative way of explaining why you shouldn't be greedy.
Yeah.
Just do it in order.
The fact that restoring virginity for fun,
in a special bath as well. It wasn't
and
just
also the fact that mortals do it as well.
mortals. Yeah, that's true.
Cloud sex, Jesus
Cloud
Christ,
sex.
yeah.
I mean, there's a lot going on.
And
there.
also the origins.
Giant flaming wheel. That's random. Why a giant flaming wheel?
Also the centaurs,
And it has to be horses as well, which is weird.
yeah,
And a
it's
cloud baby
Dionysus as
in
well.
his thigh. That's creative. Like, why his thigh? Like, do you know what I mean? Why that?
And also where Semele came from as well, and being engulfed in fire, and Zeus actually wanted to take care of someone as well.
Yeah.
Which is
Cutting
difficult.
down weeds with an axe. That's pretty dumb. / creative.
and also attacking Dionysus out of nowhere as well.
That's pretty weird.
And also the origin story of Athena as well, and Metis, and how that ended up as well, and
How she comes out fully armoured,
Yes,
and how
yeah.
he swallows her. And,
I think we kind of covered creativity and WTF and that kind of recap.
yeah, they
there.
kind of both.
So let's mark them both together. So maybe I think like a 9 for creativity, or maybe a 10.
I think 9 creativity, 10 WTF.
Deal.
Would you agree? I think it's slightly less creative than it is WTF.
That's a big scorer.
Because creativity also comes down to narrative and stuff like that.
Oh, that's a big one. So it's 12.
I mean, there was 6 basically myths in that, which is good.
Yeah.
But we had to do that because there's no way
Yeah.
each of those weren't very long.
So 31.
Let me do the maths.
31.
Let me do the maths. 7, 5, 9, 10.
31.
So if you add the 9 to the
31.
10 is 19.
31.
Add 5
31.
is 24.
31.
Add 7
31.
is 3-1.
31. That's what I said.
That's a high one. Anything over 30 is a good
Yeah.
good whack.
So it's probably in the top 10-ish.
Yeah.
We should really have some form of a table which someone would update, but someone doesn't update it. Oh, I wonder who that could be. Could be someone's job or something.
Yeah, he's alluding to the fact that I haven't updated it in a while. I'm sorry. I will do.
Okay. Anyway,
my laptop doesn't work, Matt. It's difficult.
Even when your laptop worked, you didn't do it. Daniel, what a lovely... I enjoyed that. That was
a good one.
Very refreshing, Miff, that one.
That's nice.
And so, we're going to say goodbye, but before we do that, we've got to do the social media, Dan.
We do.
Should we do it in a funny... Should we do it funny?
Okay. I'll make a change.
Actually, should we do it as dry as possible?
Okay,
do
as dry as possible.
Email us at misspodcast@gmail.com.
Or follow us on social media such as Twitter and Facebook so that's like the @ sign, Miffs Podcast. But not like, don't spell AT, it's @Miffs Podcast.
And also, if you can give us not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 stars on iTunes, it'd be appreciated.
Yeah, I'd quite like that as well.
Yeah.
Second that.
If you want to write...
Why am I doing a northern accent?
Yeah, I don't know. You kind of slipped into that
I
as
don't
well.
know.
Oh, I don't know Jon Snow. Oh, I came of
Because you
Thrones.
said it had to be boring, and I instantly just went to Matt's hometown.
I was talking to our mutual friend called Stewie, and Stewie is he's quite a posh fellow, isn't he?
Yes,
Yeah.
I would say so. He's double-barreled surname, for example.
Yeah. And he's a delightful chap. However, he was saying, he's telling me about this opera company which is based down south. He goes, I don't think you'll know them. I was like, why is that? Because they're from down south. It's like, what, are you trying to say I'm uncultured or something?
Did you know them?
No.
Yeah.
So do give us a rating. And also, if you want to write us a review on iTunes, the more ratings we get, the more people get to see us, and the more sooner we become rich and famous. So you are stopping our dreams from coming true. And also join our Facebook group as well, the Miffsfits. You are officially now a Miffsfit. So find us at Miff Podcast Miffsfits page, and there's a group we can chat. You can tell us your favourite stuff. Just get involved. You can chat to me. Dan probably won't be on there, but I'll be available. I have a lot of free time for you guys. You can also ask me stuff. We can also have conversations which we can't have on the podcast for legal reasons. But yeah, and also find me online. Find me at Madhouse Comedy, and also watch me do some live gigs. Dan, I'm really fun live, aren't I?
Yeah, you're actually very good.
Also, Dan, can you go out the room for a second? I'll finish the podcast.
I'm just going to close my ears.
Okay. Guys, next week it's Daniel's birthday, so if you want to send some birthday wishes... You're not listening to this, eh, Dan?
I actually can't hear what you're saying.
Dan is a paedophile. And so, no, ignore that last bit. It's his birthday, right? So, if you want to send some love and wishes and something nice, or just send him a Peregrine Falcon fact, please email us at misspodcast.com and I'll send it over to him. It'll be really nice. Or tweet us at misspodcast. Okay, that's it. Hey, Dan, come back in.
I actually didn't hear any of that because I was humming with my ears closed.
I did say one thing I do regret. Dan isn't a paedophile, okay?
Oh god, I really don't know if you don't say anything weird.
Well, anyway, we're going to go now after that Me Too moment. Lots of love, guys. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Miffs. 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 Miffs.
Eat yourself before you wreck yourself.
Eat.
Wreck yourself when you eat yourself.
Thank
We'll
you.
cut that out.
Yeah, no, it's not. Staying in for eternity.
What's the next one, Matt?